everybody. I'm Jim Stavridis, the Dean at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, and I'm here in Tallinn, Estonia, with the Ambassador of the United States, a very good friend. And we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on here, but I think the really exciting thing, Mr. Ambassador, is that you've got the President of the United States arriving here very, very shortly. What's it like to get ready for a visit from the President?
Yeah, I got to say it's very exciting. We are so pleased that Tallinn was selected as the stop, his one stop on his way to the NATO Summit in Wales. And we're doing our best to provide the support to the White House and the National Security Council and making sure that it's a effective and positive visit.
You know, I've done a few of those myself, and they tend to kind of run in auto. And I think you'll find it a marvelous experience, and I know your team is working so hard to get ready for it. What do you think the President's message will be to our Estonian friends and allies here?
I think the President's message to both Estonia and the region as a whole is one of assurance, one of our commitment to Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, and just letting the region know that we are very committed to the security of this region.
How much do you think the events in Ukraine have impacted the Estonian view of its situation here, Mr. Ambassador?
I think there's been a pretty strategic and fundamental shift that began with the situation in Ukraine and the invasion of Crimea. I wouldn't say that anybody here is panicked, but they are able to look outside. They're familiar with their history. They've lost their freedom several times to neighbors from the east, and there's definitely a level of concern, and they raised some very valid points about their NATO membership and the commitments that NATO has made to this region. And I think I'm very proud of what the United States has done in response and the way NATO has responded in providing very visible reassurance and very visible deterrence. So I'd say they're concerned, but they're confident in their membership in NATO. And this, in many ways, validates the strategic view that they took 20 years ago, that very rapid and deep Euro-Atlantic integration would be key to their future.
What a great answer. I would definitely agree, both from my time as the NATO Supreme Allied Commander, but even in this short visit with our Fletcher students, we get a sense of concern but confidence in the NATO membership, which I think is a real tribute to what you're doing here, what this embassy is doing here. And I want to conclude by simply saying thank you for inviting the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy to be part of this marvelous mission that you lead here, Mr. Ambassador.
Well, thank you very much, and let me in return thank you for everything that you did as the Supreme Allied Commander of NATO to work with the Estonians to instill the confidence that they have that NATO is capable and NATO will respond. So again, thank you for choosing Estonia for your program.
Great to be with you, Jeff.
Thank you,
sir.